Peace. I'm Zulu King L1, representing Zulu Unions, Chapter 25. Fred Hampton Jr. has just been released from county jail, and I wanted to share a press release from the Panther Cubs that was put out. I believe it's from his legal defense team as well. But I did see the Panther Cubs send this out, so I wanted to share the information with the people. I think it's important that we support our comrades, and I'm not too sure about the specifics or the details. I know that Fred Hampton Jr. was at the home of Fred Hampton Sr., where he was assassinated, where um, he was arrested due to some type of situation that happened there. Um, I know him and a sister that, they're having an issue between them, and I won't discuss the details because I really don't have the, you know, concrete information, and I don't want to, do spread any misinformation about the matter, but I would like to see this resolved peacefully so both of them can continue to work in peace and continue on with their work, with respect to both parties. Um, so I wanted to share this, with great respect to Fred Hampton Jr., as many Zulus are in great support of him. So I wanted to share this press release. And for those who are not familiar, before I go into this, for the Judas and the Black Messiah was a recent film from maybe 2 years ago that came out in the theaters, and it familiarized a lot of people with who Fred Hampton is, who was the leader of the Black Panther Party in Chicago. So, if you haven't seen that movie, that's a good place to start to see the film, and I would recommend, doing your research on the role that Fred Hampton Sr. played with organizing many of the brothers that were in gangs to come over into the Black Panther Party in Chicago, as well as, Fred Hampton Jr. familiarize yourself with his works as well as he continued on doing that work with the brothers in the street gangs and the street organizations and doing great positive works in Chicago. So I'm gonna read this release, and there's some context here, and this is from June 5th, 2026. So this was yesterday, and I just noticed it about an hour ago. So the contacts: Hampton Legal Defense Fund at gmail.com, Kalanji at forthepeoplelegal.com, Jennifer J at forthepeoplelegal.com, and that's Jennifer spelled JENIPHERJ at forthepeoplelegal.com. So those are some of the contacts. If you need more information and you choose to support their legal defense, that's how you reach out to them. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. is free and the fight has just begun. A statement from Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Defense Committee team. Chicago, Illinois. Today, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. walked out of the notorious Cook County Jail. He is free. And we need every person reading these words to understand what that means, not just for him, but for all of us. Oppressive forces have tried to destroy this revolution, once with a bullet in 1969, and now with a warrant. The instrument is different. The intention is the same. On Tuesday, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. was arrested in open court on the very day he appeared to present his defense. Arrested on a warrant that his own defense counsel characterized as the grossest misuse of the stalking and no contact order she had ever seen. Yesterday, a judge found that the state had not proven by clear and convincing evidence that Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. poses a real and imminent threat of bodily harm, expressly noting that it found it troubling that Chairman Hampton Jr. was arrested on the very day he appeared for his hearing. He is not a flight risk. He has came to court. He was arrested for showing up to defend himself. That is not justice. That is a form of repression, and we name it as such. Who Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. is and why this case matters. The preceding judge stated during the June 2nd, 2026 hearing that Chairman Fred's name doesn't matter, that he's just a number and a fingerprint to the judicial system. We reject that with every fiber of our being. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. is not a threat to be neutralized. He is not an alias to be corrected. He is not his father's shadow. He is his father's living legacy, a son standing on sacred ground, continuing a revolution that the state has tried twice to destroy. As Chairman Hampton Jr. himself has declared, I am chairman Fred Hampton Jr., I am a revolutionary. I am somebody and I'm not going anywhere. So this is the second slide that they sent out. And you know, you could see here, right, that right there is Fred Hampton Sr. on the left and Fred Hampton Jr. on the right. Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. was assassinated at 21 years old because he was effective, because he built coalitions, organized across racial lines, and refused to compromise his commitment to the people. In 1969, the state used an informant, a drug, and a bullet in 2026. The oppressors within our midst used no contact order, a warrant, and a courtroom. The entire legal battle surrounding this case is, at its core, a contest over identity, legacy, and who controls the narrative of the Black Panther Party. To state that the son of Chairman Fred Hampton of the Black Panther Party not be allowed at 2337 West Chairman Fred Hampton Way is equivalent to stating that the offspring of Malcolm X not be allowed to go to the Audubon Ballroom, or the children of Dr. Martin Luther King be stopped from coming to the grounds of the Lorraine Motel. That is constitutional claim. That is human claim. The legal fight ahead know these dates. The court imposed no GPS monitor and no found imminent threat, yet the case continues. There are two parallel legal proceedings, and the community must be present for both. The first is the criminal case. People versus Fred Hampton Jr., case number 25DV 75 9701, a misdemeanor charge for violation of a no contact order arising for Chairman Hampton Jr.'s presence at his father's memorial December 3rd, 2025. The second is the civil case. Wills versus Hampton Jr., case number 2025 OP 77263, in which the defense is pursuing dismissal and vacation of the no contact order on the grounds that is unconstitutionally overboard as applied, was procured through misleading representations, and operates as an instrument of abuse of process as vehicle of political persecution. Thereafter, the next court date is June 17, 2026 at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, courtroom 402-555 West Harrison Street, Chicago, Illinois. The next scheduled court date will be held on July 7, 2026 at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We are calling the entire community to show up to both. So this is the last slide on the release. This is a civil call to action right now. The architecture of this defense is built on unshakable bonds of community, from Chairman Hampton Jr. at the center to his family, to the local Chicago community, to national legal networks, and even the international human rights bodies. Every circle must be activated right now. We need bodies in that courtroom on June 17th and July 7th. We need legal voices adding their names to this fight. We need cultural voices, artists, musicians, journalists telling his story in every medium available. We need the legal community to recognize, as the National Conference of Black Lawyers has, that when protective order laws are misused as instruments of political persecution, they cause dual harm. They silence constitutionally protected speech and organizing, and they erode the integrity of protections that real survivors urgently need. And we need every single person reading this to understand this case is not a routine criminal matter. It is a wound that runs 56 years deep. Chairman Hampton Jr. was prosecuted for returning to the ground where his father was murdered. His release today is not the end. It is the beginning of the next phase of a fight that has been ongoing since and before December 4th, 1969. Sign the petition, show up to court, spread the word. He will not be deterred from his legitimate movement work, neither will we. So it's signed the petition, and that's I'm gonna put the links for all of that. And there's a couple links of Fred Hampton Jr.'s full statements, as well as Fred Hampton Jr.'s website. And that the website is www.chairmanfredhamptonjr.org. Okay. And if you want to make a donation to Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., you can do so via PayPal at chairmanfredjr@gmail.com. And I'll run that again. So if you want to donate to Fred Hampton Jr., the donations via PayPal will go to chairmanfredjr@gmail.com. A revolution can never be extinguished. All power to the people. And that is the end of the memo sent out by his legal defense team and the Panther Cubs. Yeah, man, glad to see that the brother was released, and like they said, this is the beginning of the fight. This is not the end. So those in the Panther Cubs, and they commonly say, what's the call? Free them all. And I'm gonna stand in solidarity with that statement. All the political prisoners, free them all. Again, I'm Zulu King L1 from Chapter 25 of the Zulu Union, with in full support of Brother Fred Hampton Jr. of the Panther Cubs. And we honor and respect all original Black Panthers, all original Young Lords, all new era Young Lords, all the people doing the work, man. The Zulu Nation, the Universal Zulu Nation, the Zulu Union, whatever. All the people, the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths, the NOI, Muslim Sunni Muslim brothers in the community that are active. Christian, outreach churches that are active in their community, all people that doing work in the name of positivity, in the name of the people, man. We salute it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different energies and a lot of different movements with different beliefs, different backgrounds, but much of the work is the same, to bring about peace, to bring about harmony, to bring salvation, to bring uplift the community, that's what we stand for. So we all the righteous brothers and sisters that are doing work in the communities, we need to stick together and solidify and stand together. So again, man, I'm L1, and this is Spears and Mics, where we talk about hip hop culture, knowledge, the streets, and we also talk about sports, revolutionary figures. We talk about a lot of things that relate to the people. Um, yeah, man, salute. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this message with the comrades. you know, First and foremost, learn about Fred Hampton Jr., learn about Fred Hampton Sr., learn about the original Black Panther Party, and also learn about the Panther Cubs and how you can support them. There's going to be links in the description of the video. Click on those links for more information. Peace.